Hakai.
This video is part 2, analyzing chapter 7 of Dragon Ball Hakai. So all that will be described here is just the second half of chapter 7 of the story. In Universe 6, Vados has apparently created 4 cubes that appear to be made with Kachin. Meanwhile, Goku is waiting. He tells her to start. Vados throws the 4 cubes against the Saiyan God. Goku fires 2 Hakai energy balls, which completely explode the first 2 cubes. After that, Goku goes up to the 3rd cube and, touching it with his hands, again uses the Hakai, but this time turns the metal into dust. And lastly is hit by the 4th block, which has been thrown with such force that even the God of Destruction is being dragged away. But he again uses the Hakai, this time making the big metal cube disappear completely. After getting rid of all the cubes, Goku turns to Vados and gives her a like. Sometime later, Goku has already been healed by Vados, and now he's sitting down for another class. Vados explains that there are a few ways the Hakai can be used: by blowing up the target, turning the target to dust, and making the target disappear completely. Goku, in 2 months of training, has already managed to learn all these forms, and for that, Vados congratulates him, saying that it took Champa about a year to be able to do this. Goku thanks her and says that Vados' training is amazing, but Vados says that there is something that Goku must understand very well: the essence of the energy of destruction. Goku is confused. Vados had told him once that destruction, energy, and Hakai were different things, but he didn't quite understand. Vados explains that the energy of destruction is a source of energy, while Hakai is a product of that energy. And to exemplify, she says it's like Kamehameha, which is done through ordinary ki energy. In this comparison, the energy of destruction is like ki, and Kamehameha is like Hakai. Vados also says that the energy of destruction can be simulated with training, like Vegeta and Topoto, but this simulation cannot be compared to the true energy of destruction that the gods of destruction have. Goku asks why that energy of destruction is so different from ordinary ki, and why he feels so bad every time he uses that energy, and it's always so hard to control. Vados says that in fact this energy is very different from ordinary ki or divine ki. That's because the true energy of destruction is a living energy. Goku asks what she means by living energy. She explains that when this energy is inserted into someone's body, it takes the form of a spiritual being with its own consciousness and desires. This means that ever since Goku received this energy within him in the ritual, another creature has come into existence with him. Goku is shocked. There's a ghost inside him? Vados says that the best comparison is that there's a demon inside him, because the energy is made up of pure destructive and negative desire. And worse, the spiritual being doesn't just want to live in Goku's body, but to dominate it. Goku asks if this is what happened to him during the fight against Krista. She confirms, and she also explains that in order to keep the energy under control, Goku's body unconsciously uses his ki to suppress this energy. The less control Goku has over this power, the more energy his body needs to keep this creature under control. And as a result, the amount of energy and power he can use in battle is less. At the time when he found Krista, Goku had very little control over his power, so the percentage of the total power he could use in that fight was very low. As Krista pressured Goku into battle, he ended up exceeding the limit of power he could use, and so the energy of destruction managed to momentarily take control. He was possessed. But Goku says that in this last month of training, he managed to control his power as a god of destruction much better. That means that now he can use more power, right? Vados confirms, saying that the amount of power he can use has increased considerably, and now the level of power he can use is already higher than the total power he used during the Tournament of Power. She goes on and says that now Goku is at least the 5th most powerful among the gods of destruction. Goku gets really excited about those words from his master, saying he wants to train more and more. Vados laughs. He's really very different from Champa, but unfortunately they had to stop. After all, had he forgotten that he had to go to the meeting of the gods of destruction? Goku had forgotten, but he didn't want to go. What would he do there? Vados says that actually the purpose of these meetings is for the gods to talk about matters pertaining to work, involving the universes, about work experiences and things like that. But since angels traditionally don't attend these meetings to make the gods more comfortable, what actually happens is that they talk about silly things and make silly disputes. Goku, knowing about the disputes that are made, is more excited. Maybe he can fight someone there. Vados suddenly receives a call, similar to what happened to Whis, like I said in the previous video. She deduced that something important is going on and says, as Goku doesn't know the meeting place, he's going to take him there quickly, and then go meet the Grand Priest. Between each of the 12 universes, there is a planet that is considered a neutral base. This planet is even tougher than the Supreme Planet, and also tougher than the Planet of Destruction. On these planets, the millenary meetings of the gods of destruction are held. Inside the planet, Likir and Hellas hold bows. Hela says she's the best archer in all the universes, but Likir assures her that she's the best for now. On the other side of the planet is Sidra, who agrees to serve as a target for the two just to show the power of his shield and also his incredible speed. The first shot is coming. The destroyer of the 9th universe notices and deflects. The shot goes straight through, destroying a mountain and who knows what else. Sidra recognizes that shot as Likir's arrow, and it was very easy to dodge. However, another shot follows and it hits the destroyer, cracking his shield. That was Helis' arrow, which according to Sidra was so accurate that it didn't destroy anything in its path. So discreet that he didn't see it coming, and so strong that it cracked his shield, which is the most powerful shield among the gods. Helis brags to Likir, she's the best. Meanwhile, Rumshi and Moscow are having a power struggle, which seems like a sumo wrestling match. Both gods put in a lot of effort, and it apparently is a little further from seeing a victor. Arak, Jin, and Iwan talk, and in that conversation the destroyer of Universe 1 reveals that it has been approximately 10 million years since he has cut his hair. He's cute like that, isn't he? Well, Jin and Arak decide not to answer. Meanwhile, Beerus and Kitela are in another deadly arm wrestling match. Belmont watching says he will face whoever wins, or rather, he will face Kitela. Beerus tells the destroyer of Universe 11 to shut up, he will win. But the truth is that Belmont doesn't want anyone to win, because if that happens, he's going to have to do some work. But suddenly, the relaxed atmosphere becomes very tense. Something catches the attention of the 11 gods of destruction present in that place. What catches everyone's attention is the arrival of the 12th destroyer, Son Goku, who upon arriving and realizing that everyone is staring at him, is very apprehensive, realizing that they still don't like him. Goku runs to Beerus asking him to help him get along with the guys, but Beerus tells him to leave. He doesn't want to embarrass himself with the others. As if he were popular, Kitela says. The atmosphere starts to get even more tense. That's because the gods start to complain about Goku's presence. Jin sneers at the novice's arrival. Likir says that as if all the trouble he caused wasn't enough, he still became a god. But Goku asks his comrades to calm down. He didn't want to be a god, but Rumshi doesn't believe it. After all, did he start flattering Zeno for nothing? Iwan tries to pacify the situation, saying that Goku is now a colleague and they need to get along. Helis agrees and says that having a handsome god at these gatherings is a rare thing, and a lady like her is grateful for that. Sidra falsely agrees, saying that it would really be nice for them to welcome their new colleague, and he says that by raising his energy. Kitela agrees and does the same. Beerus goes to Goku's side. Not that he cares about this idiot, but he doesn't like to see cowardice. Goku smiles. He was already tired of just training. It would be good to fight. The planet trembles with the release of energy from the gods of destruction. Kitela is the first to advance, but they all stop when a tube of light falls on the planet. Goku asks if Beerus is feeling that, and the destroyer of Universe 7 says yes. Whoever it is, it's very powerful. The one who just arrived is Picon, who tells the gods that they need to talk. When the 12 gods of destruction are gathered, the first thing Picon does is talk to Goku, acknowledging him as a Saiyan who made a remarkable and memorable participation in the Tournament of Power. He says that he had heard that Goku had become a god of destruction, but because of the problems that had arisen recently, he didn't have time to dwell into the matter, but congratulates Goku. The Saiyan is surprised to be so famous, but thanks for the congratulations. Picon says that as Goku is a new god, he probably hasn't had time to dwell into the history of the universes yet, so he'll explain it briefly for Goku to understand, and the other gods will also understand what's going on. Picon begins by explaining that a long time ago, what they call existence was a great void, but 7 extremely powerful creatures called supreme deities were born. One of these deities, they known very well, is the Grand Zeno. Goku's first doubt arises at that moment. Wasn't Zeno the supreme being of all the universes? Is there anyone as powerful as him? Picon explains that Zeno really is an absolute being in the 12 universes. However, the 12 universes form only one realm, which is known as Zeno's realm. But there are 6 other realms besides this one, ruled by other supreme deities. Goku is very surprised, so the 12 universes are just part of everything that exists. Picon says yes. The 12 universes form just one realm out of 7. In each realm, there are its own universes, divine hierarchy and all that. And each realm is ruled by a supreme deity, just as the realm is ruled by Zeno. But there's actually an exception to all this. Picon says that many years ago, before any of them existed, one of the supreme deities called Zarat, who was very greedy, wanted to expand his domains. He wanted to conquer another realm. As Zeno's kingdom was the weakest among all, Zarat decided to attack there with his hordes. But Goku wonders, shouldn't it have been easy to defeat him? Zeno can erase everything and everyone without difficulty. Why didn't he erase Zarat and his soldiers? But it wasn't that simple. Pikkon explained that Zeno's absolute power to erase all things only works in his own realm, and only to those who belong to his realm. He cannot do this to anything or anyone belonging to another realm, especially against the supreme deity. In short, Zeno is really absolute in his own realm for being able to erase everything and everyone as he pleases. But he has no martial skills, and so he was completely vulnerable to Zarat, who unlike him, possessed unimaginable abilities. Pikkon says it was a very difficult war, but with the help of the other realms, Zeno's realm was able to repel Zarat's attack, and he was sealed and his power was divided into 5 very powerful creatures called the 5 primordial beasts. And each one of these beasts has powers superior to the gods of destruction. These beasts were divided and hidden throughout the Zeno realm universes. Goku is surprised again. Are there other beings in the universes besides the angels and Zeno that surpass the gods of destruction so much? And then he asked Beerus if he knew all that. Beerus says yes, he has vast knowledge about all that, but Liquor noticed the lie. Pikkon continues with the story saying that after Zarat was sealed, his realm, without the presence of a supreme deity, became a great chaos. Wanting to solve this problem, the 5 great celestial mages, who were the most powerful gods in the realm of Zarat, decided to restore balance by bringing Zarat back. And so they invaded Zeno's realm, creating a war to collect cocoons of the 5 primordial beasts. But this time, Zeno's realm was much more organized, and all the gods of all the universes fought together against the celestial mages and managed to seal them away. Jin interrupts the explanation, telling Pikkon not to be modest. That's because according to the story, he was mainly responsible for the victory against the celestial mages. This impresses Goku. Pikkon is apparently really very powerful. Pikkon tells them to ignore the details so they don't waste time. Belmont agrees not wasting time was a good idea. It was nice to remember the history classes, but it was time for Pikkon to explain why he was there. Then Pikkon finally says, the celestial mages have been freed. All the gods of destruction are absolutely shocked by this news. Arak questions Pikkon whether the celestial mages under the watch of the celestial guardians. Pikkon confirms, but recently the celestial guardians were attacked in a moment of weakness, which resulted in the death of the previous master, Anzen, and also the release of the celestial mages. Beerus is suspicious about that moment of weakness. This smells like betrayal, and that means Pikkon's group isn't that reliable at the moment. Pikkon agreed that there is an enemy infiltrator in the celestial world, and not even they, the celestial guardians, are completely trustworthy. Goku is completely lost. Celestial world? Celestial guardians? What is all this? But Beerus tells him to shut up. Nobody wants to explain everything to him. But Likir unmasks the destroyer of Universe 7. He's only saying that because he doesn't know very well either. Apparently Beerus is not the most studious among the gods, which is expected of him. Iwan says that from what Pikkon is saying, the celestial mages' escape doesn't seem to have been that recent. Why is it just now that this news is being given? Pikkon justifies it by saying after the mages escaped, there was no way to be sure where they had gone, and he did not want to worry the other realms unnecessarily with speculation. But the truth is that they, the Guardians, had hoped to find mages before the news got out. But recently they got confirmation that the mages were in Zeno's realm. That's because Zeno was kidnapped and the Super Dragon Balls were destroyed. This was an act of war. Kutella, very angry, scolds Beerus. How did he let all that happen in his universe? But the destroyer justifies it by saying that the universe is so big. Goku remembers that there were also orbs in his universe. Could it be that the enemies were there and he didn't notice? But Pikkon says there's no time for discussion. Now that the celestial mages have Zuno, they will discover the location of the 5 primordial beast cocoons, and that cannot happen. There are 2 beasts in Universe 7, one in Universe 6, one in Universe 8, and one in Universe 11. All gods who have a beast in their territory need to find the cocoons immediately. Hellas asks what should the gods do who don't have any beasts in their universes? Pikkon says that they must also return to their universes as the angels are in a meeting with the Grand Priest, who gathered them all after he, Pikkon, explained the situation. That is, at this moment, the universe is very vulnerable, and that is why it is important that the destroyers return. Beerus tells them to stop stalling and do what they're supposed to do. Before they go, one last warning especially to the gods who will go after the cocoons. It is possible that they will be attacked by the celestial mages, so they must be prepared for an extremely dangerous combat. This strangely cheers up Goku, and after the last warning from the Master of the Celestial Guardians, everyone leaves towards their respective universes. A new emergency mission is given to all gods of destruction. Will the deity of Zeno's realm be able to protect their universes from the Celestial Mages' attack? Find out in the next chapters of Dragon Ball Hakai.